Joining us for Wellness Wednesday today, brought to you by Vitality Integrated Program Services, our local nonprofit in our community, providing complete wraparound behavioral health services. Today's guests are Esther Quillisi, Vitality Unlimited CEO and COO, alongside Marianne McCowan, who is Outreach and Partnership Development Coordinator for this local nonprofit organization. Welcome to both of you today.
Nice to be here, Lori. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having us.
So what we want to talk about is how people get access to mental health services in our community. The first thing they want to do if someone's in crisis is grab the phone, right, Marianne?
Yeah, they want to grab the phone, and we're trying to encourage people to call. If you can't remember our number, which is 775-777-8477, if you can't remember that, then dial 988. It's better to dial 988 than it is 911. You will actually get to mental health professionals.
Esther, tell us about Vitality Integrated being certified to be on the other end of those 988 calls. I mean, you are one of the only agencies in the state that actually respond to those here in rural Nevada, right?
Yeah, that's correct, Lori. We've been a crisis responder since we started the clinic. Well, actually, you could have called Vitality Center and we would have helped. So now the system's being more formalized, and I think it's being more coordinated.
I know in conversations with our Elko City Fire Chief recently, James Johnston, City Police Chief Tyler Troughton, they're grateful, Marianne, that we have this kind of relationship because they're not equipped to handle some of those crisis calls.
Well, and they shouldn't have. I mean, if you're going to call 911, you expect to have police show up, ambulance, or a firefighter. If you're having a mental health crisis, you don't necessarily need any of those authority figures. And you need to talk to somebody who is trained to handle a mental health situation and de-escalate, not escalate a situation.
In fact, when someone is in crisis, we're learning, Esther, that about 80% of those crises can be de-escalated simply over the phone. Does that surprise you?
That surprised me when I heard it. I could not believe that that you could do that. But I've heard that more than once. And it's interesting because a lot of people don't, once you get there, they don't want to go to the hospital or any other facility. So it's a good thing that we can deal with them on the phone and kind of draw them in, relax them and draw them in.
The VIPs, 775-777-8477, anytime, day or night. We're talking about, though, the 988 number. Marianne McCowan is the Outreach and Partnership Development Coordinator, and Marianne spoke recently to the Elko County Health Board. A lot of people still don't know about this easy-to-remember number that gets you immediate mental health help.
That is very correct. Every time I go to any sort of an event, if I'm just going out and talking to people in general, I will ask them, do you know what 988 is? And I could be in a room of 20 people, I could be in a room of 50 people, and maybe 2 people will raise their hand. And it always surprises me because it's been in effect since 2002 or 2022. And basically, it's also on your phone bill. If you have a cell phone and you have an area code that's a Nevada area code, if you see there's a little surcharge for 35 cents, did you not ask yourself what that is? I look at my bills and I go, what's this fee for? Well, that 35-cent fee is to pay for the 988 system. And it makes so much sense to me because if you're in crisis and you're just not thinking straight, are you necessarily going to remember a really long phone number? You're not. So having that simple 988 to be able to dial and get to help right away is essential. And if you can't be de-escalated over the phone, they do reach out to agencies such as Vitality, where in the city of Elko, we can respond with our mobile therapy van.
Marianne McCowan, thank you so much. And Esther, obviously, by dialing 988, people can get this. They can also get access to wraparound behavioral health services if necessary, right?
That's correct. I think that what has to happen is that when you can calm the situation and invite the person in, then you can do the assessment and see what it takes. It takes an assessment. You can't really do it over the phone. And that's what would happen if they went into any facility that should know what they're doing. So you get them to come in, and then you work with them to decide their best course of action.
Right here at home, it is Vitality Integrated Program Services, our local nonprofit located at 215 Bluffs Avenue. So, Marianne, as we talked about earlier, Vitality Unlimited is one of the agencies that responds to those 988 calls. You were telling us that about 80% of the calls can be de-escalated, reminding people that it's okay. Sometimes someone just needs someone to talk to. Sometimes it's the person helping someone in crisis, right?
Absolutely. And a lot of people focus on the crisis, and you need to have that continuing care. So once the crisis is over and things have been de-escalated, you need to follow up with the continuing care. And that's what Vitality can do and does do. Anytime we have a crisis call come in, we de-escalate it and then continue, talk with them again within 24 hours. And the fantastic thing is that now we have an in-person therapist here in Elko. I've talked to many providers, and it's very difficult to get providers to come to Elko and move here. And this wonderful woman she was a targeted case manager for us, and now she is one of our licensed therapists.
That's fantastic news, Esther. That has to make you feel good because, again, there's so much pull for licensed therapists throughout the community, throughout the world, really. And this person chose Elko and Vitality for her career.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing for the company and for the community. I think that what happens now is that, at least for us, it gives people a choice, in person or on Zoom. You know, when we first got started years ago, if it weren't for Zoom, for so many things, we wouldn't have been able to provide services. We wouldn't have been able to provide educational benefits, or we would not have been able to connect. And so it's still absolutely essential to operating in rural Nevada and anywhere actually in the state, because we use Zoom a lot in Reno, Carson City, and Dayton. However, for those that want to see somebody behind the desk or sitting in the same room with them, they can certainly come in. And she's very, very therapeutic. I've heard such good things about her.
Esther Quillisi is Vitality Unlimited CEO and COO. They are located at 215 Bluffs Avenue, 775-777-8477. Marianne McCowan is Outreach and Partnership Development Coordinator, and you put some miles on that mobile therapy van, haven't you, Marianne?
Yes, absolutely. Not only me, but also our staff, because we have taken it to many different places. I will actually be out and about in the community at different events. And so if you see this big white van and it has an awning on it when it's sitting at an event and a little table underneath, that's me. So, and it's always good for people to see, because that way they know if they need to call the mobile therapy van, because there's a lot of reasons that somebody may not be able to come into our clinic. If they need our remote services, then seeing it at an event makes it that much more welcoming to know, oh, there's a light in there and there's an extra air conditioning unit, so you're not going to get overheated being in a van. You know, it's just a comfortable environment.
And it can come right to you, whether it's in your driveway, in your neighborhood, or, in a remote community at a public place. Maybe it's a senior center or the homeless camp. The mobile therapy van will travel to you. And the best way to arrange that meeting is with you, Marianne, right?
Well, it's the best to call the clinic.
Yes.
So it's 775-777-8477. And just let the person who's answering the phone and making the appointment, let them know that you need the van services, because we also have to figure in, travel time and travel back. So just let us know that if you need those services.
Marianne, thanks again for all your contributions to Vitality Integrated Program Services, a local nonprofit in our community, serving our community now for decades. And Esther, will wrap things up with you, the CEO and COO. You must be very proud of all this organization and what it has accomplished for the community.
There's no doubt. And it's a team. And when we have a team member who's having problems, the team pulls together. If we have a vacancy, the team pulls together. And not only this team in this area, but we get lots of support from Western Nevada, from Reno, Carson, and Dayton. And so that's what's gratifying, is that we have a purpose in our life. We are purpose-driven. And I'm sure you've heard about riding for the brand, where you have a cause and you support the company. And that's what I feel lately, is that we have people who ride for the brand.
We need to get you an actual brand. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, boy.
Thank you so much, both of you, healthcare professionals in our community. Vitality Integrated Program Services brings you Wellness Wednesday. Again, complete wraparound behavioral health here in Elko, 215 Bluffs Avenue, with an in-person therapist, or if you choose online, that therapy can come to you on your mobile device wherever you are. And the mobile therapy van is also available with outreach services. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to Wellness Wednesday.